Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we've got your HCC news and information for the next half hour or so. Some very special guests coming your way. Stick around for that. But first, we're going to check in. Raquel is joining us from the Stafford area. Raquel, good morning to see you. Good morning. Good to see you, rather, I should say.
Good morning. I hope you had a great weekend. I'm extremely excited to be here for today's episode. We have a great one coming up. But in the meantime, if you are not following our social media platforms, please do so that way you can share this Up to the Minute podcast with everyone that you can think of and always keep up to date with what we have in store. Thank you for having me here, Todd.
All right, stick around. We'll check in with you later on. But right now, we got a couple of guests, both of them from HCC this morning. George Davis is the Program Director of Construction Trades and the Center of with the Center of Excellence for Architectural Construction and Design. Good morning. Good morning. Good to see you, George.
Good morning. Good morning.
We're going to be back with you. Looking forward to talking with you about construction trades and maybe some things you may want to highlight as we move into the summer session. We'll get with you in just a moment. But we've been talking about the faculty recitals. Those are being done a little bit differently this year. And we've got Dr. YooJin Lee with us this morning. She's a professor of music with the Visual and Performing Arts Center of Excellence. Good morning, Dr. Lee. How are you?
Good morning. Doing great. How are you?
I'm good. Trying to get into the swing this Monday morning. It's kind of hard for me because on Friday, I had my second dose of the Pfizer vaccine. And I've got to admit, it knocked me out all day Saturday, and I didn't really get my sense back to me till really late yesterday, and I'm still a little bit out of sorts this morning. So bear with me. I'll trudge through the show. But I know you guys are doing, because of COVID, all of our lives have changed, and you're doing things differently this year with the faculty recital.
Yes. So we do 2 faculty recitals a year in one of our facilities with great recital halls. However, because of the COVID, we weren't able to do that. So we found new ways of getting recitals into our students and to the community. So as a result, we're doing virtual, online, live faculty recitals. And one of the greatest thing about this is opening new doors to new venues, because back in the history, they did not just perform in recital halls, they performed in live salons, living rooms, all those things. So this is very exciting.
Well, these are exciting times. A lot more people are going to get a chance to see you guys performing live. But let's talk a bit about you. Tell me a little bit about your background.
I am originally from South Korea. I landed at the IAH airport in January 2000 with 2 immigrant bags and a backpack. I landed here as an international student to attend grad school in piano performance. And it's been 21 years now that I've been in Texas. And I joined HCC faculty in 2010. So it's my 11th year here now.
Wow, that's a great school.
I just want to add that I am the biggest cheerleader for international students.
Yeah, well, we've got a very large group of international students here at HCC, and we're very proud of that. But tell me your role. You've come a long way in 10 years at HCC. What's your primary role now with the Department of Music?
I'm full-time. I teach many classes, some core classes such as music appreciation and fundamentals in music, as well as private piano, studio piano, and piano class. I help students to transfer into 4-year universities. This year, I sent one to University of Houston. In our program, we sent one to the Berklee School of Music in Boston. And we're just doing so well with these students. It's very exciting.
And how has COVID affected your teaching method? Obviously, you had been doing everything online. Are you able to get back to any in-person? And what's been the reaction of delivering instruction online?
When we were asked to convert everything to online, all the music faculty were shocked because we didn't know it was possible. Because we have very intimate lesson times with our teachers, with looking at posture and sound and all that stuff. And when they said no contact, you can't even see each other, we were just kind of like, oh my goodness. But we learn new ways of doing things. As a program, our school have given out or leased pianos or keyboards out to students that had no instruments at their homes, because for one of the ways they could continue is they needed to have instruments. And so we set up ways to show fingers from above or the side, and to just instruct students through platforms like Teams or Zoom and stuff. We did start to go back to the classrooms, because piano class requires, it's a lab class. So
right.
After spring break, they have gone back. I personally, none of my classes are in the flex setting, so I'm still doing everything online. But in the fall, I will be back in the classroom, and I'm very, very excited about that.
Have you become a bit of a video expert now that you've been experimenting with ways to show the keys with cameras above you and all that?
Honestly, I'm still learning. I'm not a techie. Musicians, I mean, I just know how to do this, but I have some teenagers at the house, and they know better than I do. And
sure.
My kids are helping me. There's just a lot of help around, and I can do this with you. So I guess that's a huge improvement on my end.
You talked about students transferring on to Berkeley, which is incredible, and off to U of H. Do most of your students go for 4-year degrees, some of them 2-year degrees? How does that work, and how does the music program work with that?
So we at HCC offer associate's degrees in music performance, and some students graduate from HCC and start teaching right away, going into studios and having their private studios set up and performing. But some students want to go for a bachelor's degree or even higher ed, and we train them to be able to go right into, our goal is for them to go into their 3rd year of the university setting. And so we usually get students that are, you know how universities are not for every student, right? Some students feel like they still need a little bit more preparation. Sure. And we welcome students like that, so we can fully train them. So when they transfer, it'll be very easy for them, natural for them, than just a big setting all of a sudden. So we're excellent for those students.
And they also save a ton of money if they're getting a 4-year degree and going and studying here at HCC for a couple of years before transferring.
Yes, they do. And we have some world-class, wonderful music faculty at HCC that I'm so honored to work with some of our colleagues, because they're just so great. You can't get that training anywhere else. It's here right at HCC.
Well, Dr. YooJin Lee, why don't you give us a taste of what they may hear at the faculty recital with some of your music?
Okay. So this is a piece from Debussy. It's from a suite called The Children's Corner. I like this piece. It's a French piece, but Debussy dedicated this song to his own daughter. And the cool thing about it is he wrote that this gets played in the morning, which is right now, right? So I will play a little excerpt of the Debussy Children's Corner.
Sounds good. Incredible. Dr. YooJin Lee, thanks for sharing that with us this morning. That's a perfect piece of music for the morning. I could listen to that any time of the day, though.
Thank you so much. It's so exciting.
Well, once again, we're going to have all the information for the faculty recital coming up. And folks, if you're interested in our music program, we got some great professors here at HCC, including Dr. YooJin Lee. You can find out more and register right now at hccs.edu/now. We'll have all the links in the social media posts for the show. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Lee. We'll see you again.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, so we're going to move on to George Davis. We're going to completely change gears right now and talk about our construction trades program. And George, I've got to admit, first off, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here bright and early this morning. I've got to admit, it would seem like construction trades, especially trades, have been highlighted so much over the past couple of months because of the winter storm we got here in Houston that proved to us, hey, we all need electricians, we need plumbers, and we need these trades. We need these skilled workers to keep us going as a society.
Absolutely. That's pretty much our goal and objective within the construction trades area. We introduce our participants or those interested students who are interested in the trade area. Houston Community College, the construction trade department, we have a robust suite of courses within construction trades, as you mentioned, and electrical, HVAC, plumbing, and many more.
So, George, tell me, for these types of classes, are there programs available that would help students alleviate some of the tuition? Is there financial aid, scholarships, or maybe grants that would pay for some of these?
Yes, now that's the beauty of the program. So it's not necessarily a funding issue. We have several different funding options and financial aid, grants, scholarships through TPAG, which is the Texas Public Education Grant. We have funds through the foundation. We have funds through the Workforce Investment Act, WIOA, and we work aggressively with Career for You. So we have plenty of funding options. Typically, what I've trained my staff to do is to pretty much assess each student in terms of their needs and assess where they are financially, and we'll put them in one of the pots of funding.
If a student is stay on the southwest side of town and they want to take a certain trade, will they have to drive across town to do that, or are these classes offered across our district?
Absolutely not. Yeah, we actually offer classes throughout the HCC district service area. So we have classes at Southwest College, Southeast College, Northwest College, Central, and Northwest College. So we service the entire district. So if a student is interested in taking any of these trade classes, we do offer them at different locations.
We're coming up to the end of the high school year, where a lot of seniors are graduating. Some of them may not know if they want to go off to a 4-year college, but they don't necessarily need to. They can stay home. Can they, if parents are watching and want to get their kids out there and get them a viable job, can they get training in a short amount of time and get out in the workforce if you're a graduating high school senior?
Absolutely. Pretty much that is the primary objective of our program, is to target high school students. Our programs are 3 months or less, 16 weeks. And for those interested students who are coming out of high school who are undecided about college, this is the perfect program for them. And yes, we do encourage high school students who are interested in the trades to come through the construction trades area. We also have pathway programs throughout HCC.
I was listening to talk radio, I guess about a year ago, and something I listened to really struck me. And they were talking about electricians. And the talk show host, who was a handyman construction person himself, said, a master electrician, he considers on the same level as someone who has the doctorate, because they've got as much training. They really have as much background and schooling as a person who gets their PhD. And he said their earning potential in many cases is more than a PhD. Is that the case?
That is absolutely correct. Again, we introduce those that are interested in the trades, like an electrician, to an electrical tech program. And because we do have our pathway partnership through our centers of excellence, through the credit side, I agree. We take them through the apprenticeship program, through a journeyman's, and then they can become a master electrician and, yes, earn more than someone with the PhD.
If you are studying to be, say, an electrician or a plumber, HVAC, something along those lines, and you're just getting a certification just to get out there and work, are these certifications stackable to where you could go in and get more certifications in the future? And would you need to maybe be more well-rounded? Say if you want to run a business, you got to learn about running business on top of that trade. Does HCC support that as well? Maybe getting some business training along with that electrician certification?
We do. We work very well with the Center of Excellence in Business over at Southeast College, and we highly encourage that. But yes, I do encourage students who are interested in the trades to become well-rounded. If they want to become home builders or develop or hire their own staffing or crew, and HCC does support that, yes.
And when we're talking about these certifications, these, in many cases, kids can get out there and make a pretty darn good living starting. What are the starting salaries for like electricians and plumbers once they get the low-level certification and just get out in the workforce? Is it a viable living where you can literally work your 40-hour week and support yourself?
Absolutely. Again, we do encourage those, the livable wages for starting off as an electrical tech or HVAC tech is anywhere from $15 to $20 an hour. Once they complete the training, the programs that we offer prepares the student to become a pre-apprenticeship or a person who can go into the industry as an actual tech and understand the skill of this particular trade.
And I know HCC also has programs where, and maybe this is still the case, because I know we had something with like Trio Electric, where you reached out in the high schools, and realistically, these kids can be taking their trades while they're in high school. And when they get out of high school, guess what? They're ready to go into the workforce prepared.
Yes, we're actually working on a partnership right now with Trio in the continuing education side. Typically that was offered through Chris Asper on the credit side, but we're working also with a couple of other industry partners to make it happen where they can have these stackable credentials.
And one final question, HCC mainly works, I know we have year-round registration, and we work with the fall semester. Sometimes we have shorter, like 8-week semesters. There's summer classes. If someone is interested in signing up one of these trades, you say they're 3 months. Is it continuing there? Are you continuing to enroll for another class? And do you have flexible classes where they can take your classes in off times?
Absolutely. We offer classes year round. So it's just not 3 months. We offer classes in the fall, the spring, and the summer. In fact, we're gearing up for our summer registration and enrollment, and we're preparing for the fall. So students who are interested can take these courses year round.
What would you suggest if someone's looking to enroll? I know enrollment is going on now. What would you suggest? Do they need to get a hold of you or talk with an advisor first? What's your first step that they would take?
So my first step is for them to contact our main office. My staff, we are pretty much a one-stop shop in construction trades where we register and enroll and assess the students. And they can contact our office at 713-718-8932, or they can email me directly. And my email address, and I'll say it slowly, is george.davis@hccs.edu. Again, that's george.davis@hccs.edu, and I will forward the information to my team.
George, we'll put your email address in the social media post for the show, and we'll also put the email address for your program as well, the website address. Thanks for joining us, George. Good to see you, and we'll hopefully have you back on the show soon. Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, we're going to move on to Raquel Sims joining us from her. Raquel, where are you now? You're in a new location.
I was wondering if you were going to ask. So this is like a project that I did. I wanted to build like a grass wall or like some shelves. I had this vision. And so I finally did it. And I kind of like record other things right here. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to try this out and see if he likes it.
Oh, it looks good. It looks good. I'm going to have to, I'm toying around with putting up a green screen again. And I may break that out in the next month or two and keep it up for a while. It's just, you've got a nice little setup. Is that in a spare room or something?
Yes, so it's in the upstairs living room. And
okay.
I just kind of like took over it. And I was just like, I'm going to do this right here.
Real estate in the home, when you're broadcasting from home these days, you're setting up. A lot of times when I'm broadcasting in the evenings, my wife will be walking by or she'll get home, taking the dogs out. You got stuff in the background. So, I may put up the green screen again. It just takes up so much real estate and it's a big deal. So we'll see about that. But that's a cool setup you got there. So Raquel, what you got going on this week?
So, oh my gosh, it's been really, really interesting. So last week we had a chance to interview two women from the Stafford Compliance Department. One works in the health inspection, dealing with codes and buildings, and the other deals with, within the community. And we kind of just pretty touched base on that because there are two women in this field. That's not a popular field for women to be working in. So just to hear their story, to hear what inspired them to be a part of that field was just amazing. And it really made me think about how important their jobs are, because if it weren't for them going to these restaurants, going to these buildings, and really making for sure that these businesses are following the guidelines and going by the handbook, it could, help us out because it's some of the food that we're ingesting. So to hear their story was extremely amazing, and they're awesome women. And then also, as everyone probably already knows, Stafford to face. So that has been, just interesting to see how people are like excited to get back. I'm like an in-person type of person. So to see that them, they are getting back in the swing of things is truly inspiring, but they're still practicing safety guidelines and still offering online courses for those who don't feel comfortable with coming in. So it's completely optional. And then also, the city of Stafford took time to recognize child abuse, and they had a ceremony where they had purple flags around City Hall. So it's Child Abuse Awareness. They took time to recognize that. So that was one good thing that Stafford did to, just honor that, because a lot of people don't know that children may suffer through a lot of things, and with COVID being in place and them not being able to go to school, numbers are not as accurate because they're afraid to report these particular numbers. So they took time to do that. So that's what's been going on our end. If you aren't doing so already, please follow us on all of our social media platforms at HCCTV Stafford, and just keep up to date with what our latest features are, so that way you can be in the loop. And thank you so much, Ty, for allowing me to share what's going on out here in Stafford.
Yeah, a lot going on out there. I know you guys are very busy in that area. Okay, some other things going on across the district. We'll get into those. Rec Sports has a Fortnite competition. The deadline's coming up. The competition deadline is noon today. You can win up to $100 in prizes by playing Fortnite. I don't know anything about it. Never played Fortnite. Just, I know the name. That's all I got. But apparently a lot of people do. We'll have the link to register, and you have till noon today. So we'll have that link in the social media post for the show. And mental wellness support. We have that here at HCC, and there's some HCC Central's working on this, Raquel.
Yes, HCC Central's free, I repeat again, free mental wellness support groups provide safe spaces to gain life coping skills and emotional support. The next one is on Thursday, April 15th at 5 p.m. Thursday, April 15th at 5 p.m. Please check the HCC Central Facebook link in our post to register. You don't want to miss this free opportunity because it's a win-win.
It is a win-win. Okay, another thing as well, building a sense of belonging. Several gatherings of HCC faculty, staff, and students, along with community partners, they're going to be providing opportunities for action-oriented approaches to a more connective, inclusive, and equitable environment for us all. It's group discussions happening from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The next one is on Friday, April 16th. They've also got one on the 23rd and the 30th. Check your email for updates and also to register. And we've talked about this on Up to the Minute. We've had a guest, I think Dr. Helen Graham has been on the topic as well, talking about the Sugarland 95. And Raquel, that's happened out in the Fort Bend County area.
Yes, and it is back. The History Speaker Series will feature HCC's Dr. Helen Graham and Dr. Teresa Jack as they discuss the horrific system of convict leasing in Sugarland in Fort Bend County. That's pretty interesting. You don't want to miss that. It's happening Thursday, April 20th from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. And it's a free event, you guys, a free event again. Registration required. Please register. For info, email the professors for the link to register. We will have those in our post below.
It's going to be some incredible history, some disturbing history. but some things that need to be known and some great discussion. And really, Dr. Jack and Dr. Graham have been on the forefront of this situation and talking about this history and being able to bring it to light. So make sure you join us for this discussion. It's something you definitely do not want to miss. 3 to 5 p.m. Tuesday, April the 20th. Okay, pipe dreams. We talked about this a bit earlier, but we all need plumbers. A lot of folks, we needed them. You know, they didn't have enough plumbers in the city of Houston to help us out. They had to call them in from across the country back after last month's or the month before last freeze. So we're training the next generation of plumbers here at HCC so that we have them in the city of Houston. Classes are being held in June, July, and just $544 will get you started and through the course. And there's also a grant which you can apply for. For more information, we'll put the number that you can call on the social media post for the show. Okay, a class that will grow on you. Tell us more about that.
I just love that title, a class that will grow on you. This is for biology for non-science majors. Will be taught in June and July. It's happening starting June 7th and ending in July 11th. It's biology, course number 1308. And for questions, please email Dr. Grisby. Her email will be provided below. And just find out all about it because, you know, a lot of biology classes aren't offered to those who aren't science majors. So this is just a wonderful opportunity.
Okay, big thing happening today, Raquel. Registration for fall 2021 is now underway. That's right. Today's the day. You can now register for fall 2021, and we've got summer registration going on as well. We have 5 different ways that you can take courses here at HCC. And starting this summer, we're going to be bringing students back on the campuses for face-to-face instruction. There's also hybrids, which is a mixture of both instruction in person and online. And there's exclusive online class delivery as well. You pick the option, you take the classes, but keep in mind, the in-person classes are going to be very small to keep within CDC guidelines. And we'll have, you know, if we can add more students, we will. If we have to take away more students, we'll do that as well to keep everybody safe. So in order to get the class you want, the time you want, the instructor you want, make sure you sign up early. And the best part about this, those payment plans, you've got till August. So if you signed up now, you don't have to pay for it all up front. We'll help you find scholarship, maybe some grants available for a lot of these courses, and also financial aid if you need that as well. But sign up now, just get it out of the way, get those classes locked in for the fall. You can do that by going to hccs.edu/now. So tomorrow on the show is Culinary Tuesdays, and we've got a great chef joining us.
Yes. So tomorrow we will have Executive Chef Gutierrez of the Tasting Room at City Center. It's really good, y'all. It was founded in 2003 as a small wine bar and retail shop. It claims to have expanded to become Houston's biggest and best West bar, offering fine wines, beers, cocktails, chef-inspired cuisines. And we are going to learn all about those tomorrow, and I'm excited.
Yeah. If you're a culinary student, this is another way you can get out there in the workforce and learn more about the opportunities. So make sure you join us for that. And later this week, we'll spotlight another student success story and more NYSOD winners here on Up to the Minute. Okay, we're going to wrap up for today. Raquel, thanks for being here. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for having me, and I hope everyone has a great and blessed week.
All right, and we'll see most of you, hopefully all of you, tomorrow right here on Up to the Minute. See you then.